My wife mocked the size of my manhood during an argument. I knew I wasn't perfect, but hearing the person I loved use my biggest insecurity against me changed everything. Since that day, I've been emotionally checked out of our marriage. Hello, Reddit. I plus here. I'm a 38-year-old man, and my wife is 36. We've been married for 9 years, together for almost 12, and we have a 6-year-old daughter who thinks the world begins and ends with family movie nights and pancakes on Saturdays. From the outside, people would probably describe us as one of those solid couples. We both worked full-time. No cheating, no addictions, no screaming matches. Just the normal stress that comes with mortgages, raising a child, and trying to stretch every paycheck. Or at least that's what I thought. The biggest disagreement we'd been having for months was about money. I wanted us to take a week-long road trip through the mountains before summer ended. Nothing extravagant. Rent a cabin, let our daughter play by the lake, disconnect from work for a while. My wife insisted every spare dollar should go toward a 2-week European vacation she'd been dreaming about for years. Her argument was simple. If we wait one more year, we can do something unforgettable instead of wasting money on something mediocre. Mine was equally simple. Our daughter is only little once. She doesn't care if we're in Switzerland or 2 states away. She just wants us together. Neither of us would budge. One Friday evening, the discussion started again while we were cleaning the kitchen. At first it was calm. Then the usual cycle kicked in. We interrupted each other, repeated the same arguments, raised our voices. Finally, I said, we can afford both if we plan carefully. She slammed a plate into the sink. No, we can't. We absolutely can. You never listen. And you never compromise. Then she laughed. Not a nervous laugh, not an awkward laugh, the kind of laugh someone makes when they're about to say something they know will hurt. She looked me dead in the eyes. Well, I also wish you were bigger in bed, but we don't always get what we want. Silence. I honestly didn't process the words for several seconds. It felt like my brain refused to believe I'd actually heard them. Then it hit, like someone had punched straight through my chest. I've never pretended to be some adult film star. I'm average. I've always known that. But she'd never once made me feel inadequate. Not in 12 years, not during dating, not after marriage, not after our daughter was born. Nothing. She immediately covered her mouth. Oh my God, I didn't mean, but it was already too late. Something inside me switched off. I just nodded. It's okay. Then I went upstairs. That was the biggest lie I've ever told, because it wasn't okay, not even close. The next morning I left early for work. I stopped texting her during the day, stopped calling, stopped asking how she was. I poured everything into work and my daughter. When I got home, I'd help with homework, make dinner for my kid if needed, read bedtime stories, then disappear into my office. If my wife tried talking, I'd answer with one word. If she apologized, I'd say, it's fine. If she cried, I'd walk away. It wasn't revenge, it wasn't planned. It was like every emotional connection I'd had with her had been unplugged overnight. A week later, she cooked my favorite dinner. I ordered takeout instead. She looked devastated. Another night, she climbed into bed wearing lingerie I'd bought her years earlier. She wrapped her arms around me. I miss you. I gently removed her hands. I'm tired. You won't even look at me. I don't want to. She cried herself to sleep. I didn't. I just stared at the ceiling. My birthday came 2 weeks later. She decorated the dining room, bought a cake, invited my parents. I canceled dinner. When everyone left, she handed me a wrapped box with a handwritten letter taped to it. I've been working on this for days. I pushed it back toward her. Take it back. You haven't even opened it. I don't want it. She broke down completely. I walked upstairs. The truth? I wasn't angry anymore. I just didn't care. That scared me more than anything. I finally told my older brother and younger sister everything. My brother listened quietly before saying, one sentence shouldn't erase 9 good years. Go to counseling before you throw everything away. My sister had a completely different reaction. If someone loves you, they don't weaponize your biggest insecurity. You deserve someone who protects your confidence, not destroys it. Both made valid points. So I posted here because I genuinely didn't know which one was right. Most comments were surprisingly balanced. People agreed what she said was cruel. But many also pointed out that I'd emotionally left the marriage without ever telling her exactly what was happening. After reading hundreds of replies, I decided to try marriage counseling before talking to a lawyer. Last night was the first real conversation we'd had in almost 5 weeks. I told her everything. I told her that what hurt wasn't the comment itself. It was that the one person who knew every insecurity I'd ever shared had reached into my chest, found the deepest one, and used it like a knife just to win an argument. I said, if a stranger mocked me, I'd forget about it tomorrow. But hearing it from my wife made me question every intimate moment we've ever had. Were you secretly disappointed all these years? Were you comparing me to other men? Were you pretending? She started crying before I even finished. She kept saying, no. I swear, no. It wasn't true. I wanted to hurt you because I felt cornered, I answered. That's exactly the problem. When you're hurt, your instinct is to destroy me. I admitted something that shocked even me. I don't hate you. I don't love you right now either. When I look at you, I feel absolutely nothing. She started sobbing so hard she could barely breathe. She slid onto the floor and covered her face. She kept repeating, I've ruined everything. I've ruined everything. For the first time in over a month, I actually felt something. Not love, not forgiveness, just sadness. Sadness that we'd somehow gone from being best friends to two strangers standing in the same living room. She reached for my hand. I let her hold it for a second. Then I quietly pulled away. I'm willing to try counseling, but I'm not ready to pretend we're okay. She nodded through tears. I'll do whatever it takes. Our first counseling appointment is next week. I honestly don't know if this marriage can be saved. Maybe trust like this can be rebuilt. Maybe it can't. All I know is that for our daughter's sake and for my own peace of mind, I need to know I tried before I decide to walk away forever. So, Reddit I plus audience. Has anyone here actually come back from a moment where one sentence destroyed years of trust? Or am I trying to rebuild something that's already gone?